Hello everybody, welcome. This of course is Craig Peterson. I'm live on the radio at WGAN and also heard all kinds of places, including on the internet at craigpeterson.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. In fact, I did a couple of lives this week that hopefully you were able to watch. If you didn't see them live, they're important to see because I was talking specifically about attacks that were underway from Iran this week. And I'm going to be getting into that a little bit as well today. So continue to pay attention to today's show. Now, if you are a Facebook fan, I'd love it if you would go ahead and like my page over on Facebook. Follow me. Just go to craigpeterson.com/Facebook. craigpeterson.com/Facebook. Now, I know that I'm continually warning people about Facebook and some of the things Facebook is doing, some of the things that are, well, perfectly legal, but maybe things you don't want to have done to you, like all of the tracking Facebook does. But that means you might want to use something else. So what else are you going to use? Well, Google, YouTube, right? Oh, wait a minute. There's problems with YouTube too. So lesser of two evils for now. That's where we're at. I'm thinking about trying to use WhatsApp for this as well. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know if you'd like to watch this on WhatsApp. But if you go to craigpeterson.com/YouTube, you will be able to right there watch those videos. Because I did them lives on, in fact, I can do simultaneously now on YouTube and on Facebook. So make sure you check them out and learn a little bit about what you can do. I went through this article from this week here from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And I didn't go through all of the details because this is restricted distribution. And so there's some things in here that they don't want generally shared. But I am going to go into more detail. And in order to do that, what I'm going to be doing is some special trainings. Now, these are, as always, 100% free. I give you great information. You should see all of the compliments I have from people. But it's coming up in probably about a week from now. So you have to be on my email list if you are going to be able to be informed about this stuff, okay? So on my email list, what does that mean? Go to craigpeterson.com/subscribe. Now, when you do that, it's going to ask for your name and your email address. Make sure after you submit that, you go to that email box, verify that you got the email, the confirmation email, and click OK. Because what I don't want to have happen is someone go and sign up 100,000 people who really don't want to be on my email list. And so I send it out to all these people who don't want to be on my email list. And then I get a bad reputation, right, as a spammer. Because people say, why did you send me this email? So what I've done in order to help protect my reputation online is I make you do what's called a double opt-in. So you're going to fill out that form at craigpeterson.com/subscribe. And then once you filled out that form, it's going to send you an email to that email address, and you have to click that confirmation. So make sure you do that, because if you don't click the confirmation, and I notice there's like 100 people who have not clicked the confirmation, I want to make sure that you do click it so that you get the information that you need, including these pop-up training webinars that I'm going to be doing coming up here in another week. So craigpeterson.com/subscribe right now. You can do it on your mobile phone. You can do it on your laptop, on your computer. And man, I hate to say this, but I'm not sure if it's working right now, but I have a texting thing as well where you can text me directly at 855-385-5553. But as I said, I'm not sure it's working. So email's the easiest way. And sign up right there. I'm glad to have you on board. And believe me, I don't spam you. I'm not sitting there trying to sell you stuff all of the time. My webinars aren't one of these, hey, hammer, 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 buy, 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 hammer, hammer. That's not what I do. I really want to get the information out. And, I do have things for sale, right? I got to keep the lights on. And so for that, I'll ask permission from you. before I ever offer anything. But I don't offer things very often, so I guess that's a good thing too to consider. All right, so let's get into our first article here. We've got a lot today. We're going to be covering your networks and why they need to be updated today. Many businesses now are doing something called unclouding. They're leaving the cloud. So we're going to talk about why they are leaving, why you might want to leave as well. Of course, we're going to get into Iran. Turns out that they are hacking us, and the hacks this week are up over 50%. And so we'll tell you a little bit about what you can do about that. They're also targeting the Trump campaign for 2020. Like, that's a surprise, right? We're going to talk about what Iran is doing to our industrial control systems right now and how that can affect all of us, right? You don't have to have a kinetic war. You don't have to be sending bombs back and forth in order to really have an impact on the U.S. A little bit more about cloud. We're going to talk about the decision to move to cloud, not use cloud. There's some of the things involved in that today. And I'm probably going to put together a course on cloud migration a little bit later on this year. We'll see how that goes. Major changes to our automobiles. This is really kind of cool because these LiDAR sensors, I did a scan online. I did a little search, and I'm able to find them for under $100. That's going to change the automobile industry. So we'll talk about what LiDAR is and why it's going to change. California, man, if you are a business, you got to pay attention to this. We're going to talk about the new California Consumer Privacy Act, which is in full force now. And we're going to talk about these insider threat programs that businesses have and frankly, how they need to grow up. So a lot to cover today. And if you miss anything, you're going to find it in that newsletter I send out every week. And again, where are you going to find that? How are you going to sign up? craigpeterson.com/subscribe. So make sure you sign up and sign up right there. Okay, so let's get into our first article of the day. This one's from Dark Reading. And it's talking about cybersecurity misery index. Now, you know a little bit about this whole misery index thing. You hear about it when it's a hot, humid day outside. Oh my gosh, what should I be doing? It's just too hot. I don't want to do anything, right? And so you've got the wind chill effect. You've got the humidity effect, all of these things that can affect you. So what does this mean? Cybersecurity misery. Well, we already know that about 10 to 20% of businesses, it's about 20%, will file for bankruptcy almost the next day if they get ransomware or if they get this wiper software that we'll talk about later from Iran. 20% of businesses, think about that. If you're responsible for the security for your business, how long is your job going to last when the business has filed for bankruptcy the very next day? Not long. How about you as a business owner where your retirement is tied up in, or, all of your money is tied up in your business? How long is that going to last? Again, pretty much never. So there is a lot of pain when it comes to cybersecurity breaches that people really don't think about. It's not just dollars lost. Like, we get calls from businesses that say, hey, listen, we just had our operating account emptied. And it has varied from about $80,000 up through almost $1 million that we've been involved with, where someone stole the money right out of their main operating bank account. Well, obviously that's miserable because you can't make payroll, right? You can't pay your vendors. In fact, that vendor payments is part of the way they get some of this information. But there is another side to this. No records lost doesn't mean that there is not going to be any sort of a cost to your business. There's other metrics that matter as well. So this is from Deloitte and Touche, Mary Galligan. She says you would have to take into account the cost of whether there's going to be an increase in insurance premiums, a loss of customer relationships, because right now, most businesses could lose 30 to 50% of their customers if word of a breach got out. Is there going to be lost contract revenue? Is my company's name going to be of less value in the marketplace? I guess that goes back to retirement, right? Are you going to be able to retire by selling that business? What's your exit strategy? So there's a whole lot you have to consider here. They go into some stories here about a small bank. Their web-facing patient portal was hit by a bot swarm, and they did credentials stuffing. And man, there's just so many things that you have to consider. This week, we found one of our clients had been under attack, and we're trying to figure it out. It kind of looks like it spread in from someone else in an adjacent business. Their Bluetooth had been compromised, a Bluetooth on a laptop, and then tried to break into and compromise my client's systems. So we caught it, we noticed it, because we've got this more advanced threat protection. And that's what you have to have is ATP nowadays, advanced threat protection, which is not Norton, okay? There's only one product on the market that meets the requirements that Homeland Security has for businesses, and that's the product that we've been selling for quite a while. But that's, I'm not trying to sell anything right now. But pain is inevitable, even if you don't get hacked. Because what ends up happening is your personnel have to track it all down. It's 24/7. That pager goes off. The phone call comes in. They have to review thousands of log entries and hopefully not make a mistake. So pull up your socks, and we'll be talking about that a little bit more when we get into Iran. All right, everybody, you're listening to me on WGAN. You're watching me on YouTube, on Facebook, and on CraigPeterson.com. Stick around because we'll be right back.